All right, man. Torture talk, man. Hey, man. How y'all doing, man? I'm still out here fighting this. I don't know what the hell it is I have. I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know. I'm feeling better, but now my damn neck hurt, bro. I don't know what's going on. I didn't sleep too well last night too, so I don't know. But this is why this episode is coming out so late, because I just really got up and got in. I'm like, nah, I gotta do something. I don't care. I'm going to the gym today. It's going down. It's going down. If you hear about me on the news, I died in the gym. I can't even laugh. It's like something strangling my neck, bro. I can't do it. The back of my neck. Like I'm trying to pop my neck, man. I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it was. Y'all don't know. But anyway, so today's episode, man, we're gonna talk about Kendrick Lamar responded to multiple Drake disses. Multiple. So we're gonna get into that. Before we get into that, I gotta get a legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at? Just don't harass them. I don't send them merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link right here on the screen. Cash App, no more PayPal. The Hidden Gem, 1,300 subscribers, over 18,000. And yes, I am the king of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. Also, to go to Torture Talk After Hours. Sign up over there. Yeah, man. So I got some big things coming up. I'm going to start announcing these things. I'm thinking about doing a live call-in on Friday. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet. I'm trying to get everything correct, get everything right. The first thing I want y'all to understand is there will be no cursing on the joint. You know what I'm saying? If you call up here cursing, you will just get banged on. And I don't mean like if you slip up and say this is some bullshit, like Drake is on some bull or Kendrick did some bull. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But I really want people to watch their language. But if you call in like, oh, F you, bro, blah, 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 yeah. You're getting yeeted out of here. So look, man. So if it doesn't happen, it will happen soon. I'm trying to work out the kinks for that, and that's gonna be lit because I want to take live callers and I want to talk to y'all about certain things. Yeah. So yeah, man. This is a goodie. So let's get it, man. I know that was a long intro, but my damn neck hurt, man. I'm sorry. All right, man. This comes courtesy of Fantastic Hip Hop. I feel like in Ram Man. Y'all remember Ram Man from He-Man? He was like this, and he used to ram like you hold down his legs, and he takes a little second and it go pop, and he pop up, and they had him like in the cartoon. He used to hold him down, like in the toy section. He said, "Ram Man," you hold down Ram Man, and he bust through the wall. Like saying, I seen it. A little boy holding it down like this, and I was growing up. He let it go and it went and broke his teeth out. I said, "Ram Man." Ram Man broke your teeth, boy. I know it worked now. I went and brought the toy. That's crazy. Let's get it, man. It's courtesy of Fantastic Hip Hop.
Now, when it comes to Drake and Kendrick Lamar, well, if you are ready to see how after Drake ran away to the UK and cursed out Kendrick over there and tried to act like he was the top guy at Wireless Fest in London, well, now Kendrick just touched on the same ground Drake thought was his and took away and destroyed the last place that he thought he had under his control? Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And now really, as the more we talk about how hip-hop is changing without Drake being a part of it, well, his fans are just turning on me and they are making it more and more annoying to tell these stories. Make sure to leave a like so everybody can see what is happening. And now with that said, well, now when it comes to Kendrick Lamar and what is going down with him, really, for Drake, he picked the wrong time to try and make this comeback effort, especially because now as Drake...
Yeah, what I don't understand is, why don't Drake just pivot and go a different direction? If he knows that this ain't really working for him, then why is he still trying to do it? Like, why not just try a different direction? And people saying that Kendrick Lamar whole thing is centered around beef. Kendrick Lamar hasn't said a word about Drake. He just been going off the songs. He hasn't said a word about Drake. Drake has been out here crashing out, saying things, letting the crowd say stuff, doing all types of stuff. So why he just don't go the other way? I think Drake is dependent right now.
Drake is moving through Europe with what started at Wireless Fest and now has turned into his much smaller Some Special Songs for You tour with Party Next Door, which is about as lame as ever. Simultaneously alongside this, the same potential concert goers of the first Drake tour within these cities and regions in nearly a decade also have the chance to see Kendrick Lamar return for the first time since the Big Steppers tour, and at that play in stadiums now, and now despite not seeing Drake in a way longer amount of time. What we are finding out is that they don't care about this at all, and they are running to see Kendrick Lamar. And now, while some of the shows we have already looked at out here have just been crazy.
Man, that's crazy, bro. That's Drake's whole show right there. That's Drake's whole show right there. The bottom section. That's everybody that's at Drake's show, bro. Like, what we doing, bro? I think y'all need to acknowledge that Kendrick Lamar is a bigger star than Drake right now, bro. I think y'all really need to acknowledge this. Even some of y'all Drake fans, y'all just gotta acknowledge it now. Like, it's okay. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm just saying it's okay to just say Kendrick is bigger. Drake might come back and be bigger. But right now, Kendrick is bigger. It's okay to say that. I just don't understand. Now, again, I'm not trying to be smart. I'm being dead serious. I ain't trying to be sarcastic. It's okay to say he's bigger and just say, well, Kendrick is bigger now, but Drake could come back. Because you can't say Drake is bigger and Kendrick Lamar is going to the same countries he's going to and selling out stadiums, and Drake barely can sell out arenas. Can't say Drake is bigger, bro. Come on. It just doesn't make sense, bro. It doesn't make sense, bro. It don't. It don't make sense, bro. I'll be honest with you. Now that I think about it, I don't think Drake could pull this many people together without it being other people on the show. I don't think he could do a solo act like this. No, because he just did it join the Wireless Festival, had 60,000 people there, something like that. But he had other people there. So it wasn't like, oh, he was by himself. You know what I'm saying? He was a headliner, but people were saying he really didn't do his thing anyway. So, but yeah, this is crazy.
Things are only picking up from there, and it seems like with the fan culture and excitement out here as a whole, which just in general with this EU leg of the tour, the fans and crowds have been a lot more energetic. What it is almost looking like now is that these fan bases and crowd gatherings are competing with one another, and they are trying to get more excited and into the show than the last tour, which is what Mustard literally did say when he was opening up the thing, where he just sets off these shows absolutely masterfully. And now, speaking of doing things masterfully, well, now compared to what went down with Kendrick and the Grand National Tour stop in London compared to what Drake has done in the same place? Well, now, while when Drake came out here for Wireless Fest, he thought he was the man again, despite two of the shows in the first night and final night putting people to sleep with how boring of a performance he was and with how mid the music he was doing was as well. And then in terms of that second night, while the crowd was a lot more excited, Drake looked weirder than ever as he just had a public meltdown and crash out over Kendrick Lamar, and so did all of the OVO stands in the crowd. Well, now compared to all of this for Drake, and really him just looking more desperate than ever because he made about every call he possibly could have to get some special guests here to make these shows somewhat interesting on any level. Well, now in comparison to the Drake A Wish shows where everybody is bringing their signs and asking him for something.
Bro, the Drake A Wish shows is classic. Oh man, that's funny. The Drake A Wish shows. Ah, that's great. That's great. I love it.
With how Kendrick came into town and just made an entire experience with his Grand National Tour, what we are seeing is that Kendrick really made an incredible experience for his fans out here and made him coming here fully worth it. As even before we get into the show, as Kendrick Lamar did a GNX pop out over there where you can see his entire musical lineage on display, check out merch, and even flick up with the GNX, which looks so cool. Well, just like the best artists do, we are seeing this cloth of top-level creatives expand the boundaries of how fans can interact with their art and live within the world of their albums, which Kendrick...
Bro, ain't nobody doing nothing like this. This is the reason why Kendrick Lamar, Tyler, the Clips, this is why where they're at, bro. This is why, bro. Nobody's doing nothing like this, bro. Like, he's making an experience to see him, bro. Drake's not doing that. Drake is bitching. That's all he's doing. And then one thing I want you to understand, this goes for men and women. Men and women don't like people that bitch. They really don't. I don't give a who you are. They can't stand people that bitch. Whether it's somebody bitching at you or bitching about somebody or just bitching in general. People can't stand people that bitch. They can't. They'll listen to you, but in the back of their head, like, yo, this dude, shut the hell up. Oh my God. That's it, bro. This is crazy. He's doing, bro. This is phenomenal, man. Look at this. This is epic, bro. What does he have up here? He has. Is that I don't know what that one is. I know that's Black Panther, GNX, Good Kid, Mad City. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. GNX, Good Kid, Mad City. These are different album covers of all his work. Damn. Yeah, I don't know why he don't have well, I guess it's videos because I guess they're videos. Because I don't really see To Pimp a Butterfly up here. So maybe it's videos. It's probably videos and they're being played or whatever. Probably a TV because that down there looked like a video. Because I don't see To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't know what that is right there. But yeah, man. What's that down there? Yeah, I don't know what that is. But yeah, it could be that. So let's keep going.
Has done masterfully here, and his team you really got to give it up for, because this is so cool and something that fans are just never going to forget. And now compare this to Drake. I mean, this is not just something he wouldn't do, but it's something he can't. Because of course, as Drake's albums are not designed as these creative experiences that are really meant to captivate you. I mean, you can look at the album covers and they tell you the story itself. You can't bring these things to life. They are like a cheap runaway circus that is trying to get out of town as quickly as possible. And now beyond that circus that really Drake has been doing everything recently around, let's just take a second to remember everything Drake has been dissing Kendrick Lamar with, which now within this same ground that the two have now both played on within the matter of a few weeks. Drake said that he is the only artist who can perform 3 sets in a row at the same festival, and this is because he is the best and nobody else can do that. And then he also started multiple chants where he encouraged fans and played into the very idea and fun of them saying F Kendrick Lamar over and over again. And with this, and even just the narrative turning around, that Drake can make a comeback because he got some guys on stage to make the circus look a little better than it has in terms of the special guests who just came out and even the celebrities who made this thing look a little more interesting. Well, now, despite Drake putting up all of the optics and really convincing himself that the fans out here had his side over Kendrick's, Kendrick has just shut all of this down once again and really sent Drake the message that no matter where he runs and what he does, no handouts from Drake a Wish will ever have the arena man coming close to doing the things that Kendrick is, and really he knows this deep down inside whether he wants to admit it or not so clearly, because now despite all of the lies that
arena man it's so crazy, and I'll be honest with y'all, I never in my life thought that the day would come where Kendrick Lamar is doing stadiums and Drake ain't doing stadiums. I was under the impression too when I was growing up, when I was a little lad in this scheme. You know what I'm saying? When I was just a lad, I was growing up in this. I was thinking that Drake was 10 times bigger than Kendrick. But see, that's the perception that they sell you. Especially because Kendrick Lamar, he hasn't put out as many projects as Drake. So you always think that. But then when you start to really see, it doesn't matter how many albums you sold, records you sold, because you could be a person who has a lot of spins, but that still doesn't make you the bigger artist. You could have a 20 diamond records. There's artists that have probably more #1 records than Kendrick, but guess what? Kendrick is still bigger than them. So it's a tricky thing when it comes down to it. But I don't really care for that. I mostly care about the actual substance in the music. And I think that's what's keeping Kendrick around. Drake's just trying to stay afloat, in my opinion.
Drake and everybody around him tried to put on Kendrick's name, and just the narratives that they tried to prove over and over again. Well, through all of these games, all Kendrick had to do was arrive in the Tottenham Stadium and let those gates open, and the fans come in. Because now seemingly with the crowd that Kendrick Lamar got to come out for this show. But you see every single thing you need to know, which is that these fans show up more for him than they ever will for Drake. Because let's break it down, whether we want to look at how Drake performed at one of the most iconic festivals out there, which already pulls in huge crowds regardless of the headliner, or his arena shows which fill less than half of these crowds. He has just never had a single gathering of fans over his music at anywhere near the level we are seeing with what Kendrick did here. And now, as we understand that within whatever category we compare these two in, Kendrick is just the bigger artist who is making the bigger cultural impact. Well, with that out of the way, in the more important sense, with the show that Kendrick actually ended up giving us. Well, before we really even break this thing down and
That nigga Kendrick is an animal. He doing them burpees, boy. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't need to do nothing. You could just do that. If you want to get in shape, burpees with push-ups. That's all you need to do. It covers everything. It covers everything. Your legs, it covers your push-up, covers your chest, your arms, and the jump covers your quads, everything, bro. You literally could do that, and that's it. But the problem is, once you get to about 5, yeah, you about to throw up. Jumping straight up, like I did that one time. My trainer was like, this when I was younger, he had a trainer. He was like, yeah, man, one more. I was like, yeah, one more. I was like, yeah, one more. Threw up all on the floor, bro. That's good. We need to get that junk out of you. That's good. Yeah, get it out of you. Come on. He really was telling me to do it again, and I had throw up all on my clothes. So Kendrick's a different animal doing those burpees like that. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? That's insane, bro. You know what I'm saying?
get into what it is actually representing, when we just look at how the people and press of London perceive the show itself, which before we get into that, if we just go back to a few weeks ago, Drake was panned for his shows and they were just a complete mess. And he also did some nasty stuff like not letting these people even cover their shows in the way that they usually would be able to, and a festival that they always have been welcomed at. And in of itself, this was another petty and immature and unprofessional move, and it all let just people like Top 5 hang out over the shows instead of these people, which I guess really did not work out ultimately, seemingly. Well, overall,
I think, and you know the crazy thing is, like, even with Kevin Durant, Top 5, I think that they want to stand by Drake because I think that they looking. I know Kevin Durant. I believe he has some. I don't know if he has an issue with LeBron James, but excuse me, I'm hearing that they not really cool. They all right. I don't know, but I think that Kevin Durant. I don't know. To me, he always been one of those guys that wanted to stand out. Like, I think he looks at it like he's one of the greatest players of all time. You want to stand out. And then you got Top 5, obviously, getting all yeeted up in his neck. Somebody said it was in his leg, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? He got yeeted up all in wherever. And it's just people like that. Drake keeps himself around just people like that instead of trying to make something better. He just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? He don't. And these people ain't checking him, and that's the reason why he keep doing what he doing.
now, from the impact that these shows had on the city to the music itself, Kendrick Lamar's show was way better received. And when we look at this review specifically, it seems like there are some clear subs at the way Drake performs when you see how Kendrick is being praised for just being a great rapper and live performer without relying on gimmicks, because again, for Drake, as his shows are only ever entertaining because of every other thing going on than his own performing skills. Well, really, just seeing this write-up speaks volumes to the difference between these two. But now when it comes to the actual show, well, as you probably expected, Kendrick Lamar is just running through the Grand National Tour setlist with ease and keeping people engaged throughout the performance like few rappers and artists out right now can even come close to. And once again, when
You know the crazy thing is too, Kendrick Lamar's shows are going viral. Yo, people literally record his shows and upload them. I seen one of his shows get uploaded, and it said show in Scotland. It was like almost 2 million views, and it was like one of Kendrick's shows. I think that people know that people want to see Kendrick, and people like to see the crowd moving like that. So you don't really see them showing Drake crowd moving like that. The Drake crowd don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no songs that make them move like that. Like, maybe he do. Drake got a lot of shit, but I don't know.
See the crowds and how they are moving like this for nearly all of the songs and even some of the slower ones and deep cuts. And in addition to this, you can add on some moments of them chanting Kendrick Lamar's name like he is the best soccer, or I guess I should say football player over there as well. And then just once again, they're never chanting Drake's name because again, these people actually like the artist they are there to see, and they're not just all brought together by some weird hatred, disdain, or insecurity that Kendrick Lamar brings out of them. Well, with all this, we see that despite Drake doing everything to pander to this audience and so many other styles and groups around the globe, and really in terms of this whole London thing, Drake tried to do the most to trick them all to be team him with all of the comments about how UK rappers are better lyricists than US rappers. And then
it was corny. The more I think about it, the more he did. He tried to put them on the forefront like that and say some shit like that because man, he's a savage, bro. He really is. A lot of y'all need to understand it's tight, bro. And what's gonna happen? One of those dudes from over there are gonna do something that he don't like. Because when Drake does stuff like this, he basically saying, well, now you can't work with nobody that I have a problem with. Because soon as you work with somebody I have a problem with, they're gonna have a problem. He's gonna have a problem with you. And now he trying to box them all in. Like, what if Kendrick wanted to work with some people over there? What if some of these artists wanted to work with some of them over there? You know what I'm saying? But you see none of them coming at Kendrick, though. He could one ball came at Eminem. They ain't coming at Kendrick, though.
even by bringing Dave, Central C, and Skepta on stage to distract from his otherwise mid-performance. Well, over all of that, with just Kendrick Lamar showing up and doing what he does best, which is perform great and without any other gimmicks, he managed to just destroy and outdo Drake in ways that his fans can't even comprehend. And now, even with this show from Kendrick, while Kendrick does not break his routines pretty much, and that is one of the reasons why he is getting praise, which comes down to the level of professionalism that he brings in night and night out. Well, at the same time as all of this, as we see something like the jacket Kendrick Lamar was wearing during the first night of these shows, which featured all of the symbols of cards on the back of it, which in terms of the outfits Kendrick has been wearing for his tour, it is a little different than the type of stuff he is usually put on. Well, at the very least, you have to wonder if this means something, and if Kendrick Lamar is alluding to, teasing, or trying to send a message to somebody that we don't even understand. But now, regardless of what this could mean and everything Kendrick Lamar has packed into this experience, well, as the city that Drake just thought he won over ended the night playing and having fun to Not Like Us, like We Are the Champions was just playing after their team just won the biggest game possible, once again, this just speaks volumes to the level of impact that Kendrick Lamar has managed to make and how high of a level he is operating on. And now, truly, when it comes to Drake trying to find ways to take Kendrick down and make his impact look smaller or just create this illusion that he is the bigger artist, it's actually wild, because even when the Drake fans think he will finally do something to better himself, he just manages to get handed another loss. And to be honest, to see one rapper in such control and then to see another who, after what they once represented, can't stop losing, well, really, as this beef represents so much more, and now so do their performances and the effects of that as well, what we are seeing here is that even by focusing on a regional sound and your own style, and not trying to do every single style of music at once by copying them all in what, of course, Drake does compared to Kendrick, well, there is a very high ceiling and bar that you could reach for Kendrick Lamar and any artist who is following their own creative path and bringing something unique to the entire world of art and culture. And really now, with the world just choosing this over anything that Drake is going on, what we are seeing now is that the world has never responded more to real and authentic hip-hop, and as a result of that, well, now beyond the back and forth of the beef and all of the drama, that should tell you everything you need to know about where rap music as a whole is going. As of now,
Classic. I haven't been to the gym in like a week, in 3 days. I've been out on OT, and now I'm about to, do something else. But I have not been to the gym since then. I've been feeling down, feeling weak, and I kind of feel like I want to go tonight, but still one of those things, man. I don't know. My neck is hurting. I don't want to get in there and do something wrong. But anyway, yeah, fantastic hip hop, man. Gotta love it, man. I think that Kendrick Lamar is him. He's not even just taking the high road. He's just taking the better road. Like, I think Kendrick Lamar don't need to say nothing at this point. And the thing is, like, if I was to ever, like, I would love to have a conversation with Kendrick, because I just want to know what's his thoughts on Drake still holding on to the battle. And I want to know like how he feel. Like I want to know if he would say like, well, I told him like it's up, then it's stuck. Maybe he feels like that. But I don't know. But I don't think this would ever end. They will never be friends. Some people saying, man, they gonna do something one day together and it's gonna blow up. Nope. I mean, stranger things have probably happened in the world, but I just don't think Kendrick Lamar is going to do something with Drake at this point. Because unless they got something that they need to, like Kendrick said, you got something that we need to address, and maybe he did something that Kendrick knows about, and he just didn't, you know what I'm saying? He said, when you send me that verse request, you know we got some shit to address. Like maybe he was something that he did and Kendrick knew about it and was like, bro, when I see you, we gonna talk face to face. I'm gonna see you, bro. And I think Drake was like, nah, da 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 da. So maybe it was something different. Drake probably slid in Whitney's DMs or something. I don't know. But there's something. So, but thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate it, man. I'm sorry to tell y'all about my illness. I don't got no illness, but my weakness. The king will be back strong, baby. Tomorrow. I'm gonna be coming back with a neck brace on tomorrow. All right, man. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. I'm out of here. Peace. Bye.